we, in our community, the most generous people that I've ever seen, because I'm part of it, and I watch it, how it unfolds, and how life goes in this community. And we are giving our time, we're giving our money, and we're giving ourselves to better this community. And we don't stop. And when I say we don't stop, I mean all of us. Every single one of us plays a role and has a job to better this community. So tonight, I have a very dear friend. I gave him 2 hugs. I usually give 1, but I gave him 2 because this organization is so sensational. They're so incredible. They are the ones we don't want to want. The organization that we hope we never need. But you know what? When push comes to shove, and the time comes that we need that help, there is Hatzolah Air. There is Ellie Row. There is his team. There is everyone that partakes in doing one thing, saving lives. There is nothing short of saving people's lives on behalf of Hatzolah Air. I've been fond of them. I've been a supporter of theirs for many, many years. My own family has utilized their service. We will hear more about that tonight as the program rolls. And you'll understand the critical importance of us being the supporter of Hatzolah Air, including all the other tentacles that they have on the ground and all the other things that encompass getting somebody that's very ill. I always say, from the side of the road where they are stuck in trouble to their destination, which is safety and betterment of their health. And there's nothing that we can pay for that. There's no money. You could try, you could say, put a number, but when we're in trouble and push comes to shove, there is nothing that we wouldn't do when that Hatzolah airplane lands on that tarmac somewhere, not only in the country anymore, in the world. And they get us out of there. And they get us to safety and to where we need to be nurtured. So Joey and Sally, you were kind to open up your home tonight. The weather is perfection. First time we don't need air conditioning. It's perfect. Actually, I was talking to somebody, a rabbi that was in the mountains, and he said he woke up this morning, it was in the 40s. I said, look, I'm not taking out my sweaters, but I got you. It was freezing up there. But the weather's gorgeous. We are gorgeous. The community is gorgeous. Welcome home. It gives me great pleasure and a big honor watching you evolve, watching you and Sally grow, watching you sit next to your dad every Shabbat and all the prayers and the holidays. And I love seeing that because we are a community of legacy. From the ones that started this all in the early 1900s, the one that took the baton, the ones that are here today, and we are just trying to emulate our fathers and teach our sons. And you, and your brothers, and your family, your sisters, you've learnt well. So I'd like to call Joey and Sally up as our host of this evening on behalf of Hatzolah Air. And then we will get rolling into the program, and everybody that's here is in for a treat. I can only explain it from my viewpoint, from my purview. But when you hear from people that actually lived it and understand what it means, you get a better picture. Please come up with your wife.
It's beautiful, amazing.
So, before we call up Grandma, I want you
Yes,
to welcome everybody.
yes.
Do your thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Harry, that was, as usual, incredible. Your introduction and your master of ceremonies is always second to none. And, you know, first of all, I want to thank my wife for this great night. Even though a lot of this beautiful setup you see here was really done by the Hatzolah Air team. They went through the details of every part of the backyard, and they really wanted to set it up beautiful. But
Make sure everybody goes back there later.
yes, so there's a
unbelievable.
beautiful bar there back there later. Mixologist, great drinks. We have some beautiful music also, so you'll all enjoy. But I'll tell you why Sally was so instrumental for tonight, because when they reached out to me for this event, and after back and forth, I said, okay, we'll do it. Well, I agreed. I didn't ask Sally anything. I didn't speak to her about it. I came home and I said, Sally, we're having an event on Wednesday night in the house, the 21st. And she said, amazing. What do I need to do? So, and since then, she reached out to a lot of people, invited a lot of people, and she did way more than I did being a host. So, really, this is a testament to her effort to what she did here tonight. So why we're here tonight, in one aspect, and you'll hear soon a little bit more, excitement about that. A few months back, my grandmother got into trouble in Miami, and it was a very quick event that really she fell in a very bad position, and she was in emergency condition, and 94 years old, she had an emergency surgery in Miami. And we didn't know what the outcome of that was going to be. 95 in next month. And we didn't know what the outcome of that was going to be. We were all praying for her that she would make it. Sure enough, she did make the surgery, but she was in terrible, terrible condition after the surgery. And she could not stay in Miami. There was no attention, there was no support, there was no love around her that she could survive after that surgery. We had to get her back to New York. My dad and my uncle Raymond worked tirelessly to figure out how to get her back here, and went to only one direction to work on that, which was Hatzolah Air. And I was not involved in any details of that. I didn't know much about that. And when they reached out to me to host this event, Joe reached out to me a few weeks ago. He said, we want to host an events. People are tired and exhausted of events. There's no such thing. How can you have another event? We're exhausted from them. It's impossible. No, you don't understand. And then he sends me a picture. And he sends me a picture. Okay, very nice. I see from far, I see a plane. I see some people in front of the plane. I said, okay, very nice, Joe. What do you want me to do with this? He goes, look at the picture. Zoom in on it. So I zoom in. I see this fantastic looking plane. It looks like Air Force One. Wow, beautiful plane. Okay, very nice. I said, so Joe, I see a beautiful plane. What do you want me to do with that? He goes, look at the people in the picture. And I scroll down and I see my Uncle Raymond, my dad, my grandmother, all ready to board that plane to head back to New York. And then I put two and two together and said, wow, this is the plane that saved my grandmother's life to get her back here, to nurture her back to health. So she's here with us tonight after her very, very dramatic ordeal and the support and love of everybody. And we're here tonight in her honor. And really at the end of the day, what Hatzolah Air really represents is what the Jewish people are all about. Loving and taking care of each other. Because without that, we have nothing. And, we hear that song a lot. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. And then it says, God will protect us. God will watch over us. Really, God will only do that if we're watching out for each other. And if we're caring for each other. And that's what Hatzolah Air does all throughout the world. So it's an honor to have them here tonight, and hope to have more beautiful things that can really help the Jewish people progress and move forward in life. So thank you all for coming.
Ellie? So Ellie wants to give you and Sally a gift that you'll have in your home, and you'll always remember the night that you prepared for this organization.
Thank you.
It's a zchut,
Thank you.
privilege.
Thank you.
Give you this, just
Thank you. Beautiful. And I'm going to give it to Sally, by the way, because she deserves it. She really does.
That's for you.
Thank you. Welcome. It's an honor to have you.
You got it? What's that for her? Put it in the box. Okay, we have a treat for you now. It's not often that we get to do this in our events, but tonight, Patsy Batesh, who's well and feels great, I just saw her, she'd like to thank Hatzolah openly in front of the community for everybody to know.
Okay. Oh my goodness. You guys all right? Ma, hold on to the. I'm good. I'm good. I'll talk louder than this.
Yeah, talking there.
Yeah, I talk. I speak myself without.
You don't want the mic?
I don't know.
Yeah, leave the mic.
It might be
Leave the
better.
mic. That's good.
Okay. Thank you. Who helped me my whole trouble with my leg and my operation and with everything, and how they got me here, how they did with Hatzolah, I have no idea. He worked on it, the two of them worked on it for days and days, and how they picked me up from the hospital. It was remarkable. I've never met people like this in my life. And what they did for me till they got me to the plane, and they got me up in the plane and got me seated, and I was in so much pain, which I am now too, but I have to thank this whole organization for what they do for our people, what they do for our children, and it's just remarkable. God bless you all.
Give him a kiss. His wife won't get
I
jealous.
will. Come on. As soon as she won't. I'm 94 years old. She's not going to get this for me.
Mrs. Batesh, these are the moments we wait for. To see somebody that wants to praise someone else and give back. And
I saw,
talk about your boys and talk about Ellie Row and talk about...
you come down.
No.
Well, it's enough? Okay.
But I wait.
She's having a good time.
No, I want to tell you, I met the pilot. I met
Leave her
him here
alone.
tonight.
That's the part.
Yes, I know.
What do you think she kissed him for?
I did. And he was so remarkable. How you got them, Elliot, I don't know how you did it. And what they did for me, yeah, Hashem took over. I know.
Let's go. Come down.
Okay, so my son is going to kill me. He doesn't like me to speak. So, wait, can I step here? All right. God bless you again. Please send your eyes, especially to her.
I'll tell my wife. Thank you.
Thank you. Wait, I can't.
Everybody, look to the television. We have a small, short video explaining how heroic that event was. It'll tell the story of how Mrs. Batesh got to the plane and got home.
It was a beautiful Friday night in Florida, and it's very ironic that my uncle talked me into wearing an Apple Watch on Shabbat. He gave me ways of how it's kosher to do it. And that night, we all went home. At about 6:30 in the morning, my Apple Watch started vibrating like crazy. I jumped up, looked at my watch, and I saw it was my mother's aide, hysterical crying on the other side of the phone. My mother had fallen about 1 o'clock in the morning, and they didn't find her until 6:30 the next day. She was laying in vomit, rolled out on the floor, hysterical crying in pain. I rushed over there. I called Hatzolah. We got her to the hospital. There were no doctors around. It was New Year's Eve that night. It took a while of phone calls to New York, to Florida, everywhere, till we found one doctor, and that doctor was a hand surgeon. She had broken her hip and her clavicle, so we had no choice but to use this doctor because she was in terrible pain. Thank God the surgery went okay, and now I'm sitting with the dilemma and the problem of how do I get her back to New York to get her the right doctors to help her. I said, you know what? I could only turn to Hatzolah. Let me see if I can get Hatzolah Air, if they could come and take my mother home. And then I get a call from Ellie Row. It was like Superman coming to the rescue. He says, we're gonna get your mom home. I'm gonna get her back to New York the way you want her. You need a day or two to get the plane set up. Be ready at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're taking your mom home. I started crying. It was very, very emotional. He picked me up in a big Sprinter. I looked in the Sprinter. There was Ellie. There was another pilot. There was a second pilot and a doctor, all in the Sprinter. We went to the rehab center. We picked up my mom. This man, Ellie Row, was the warmest, kindest, caring person that I ever met in my life. We hit it off within 2 seconds. The minute I met him, he had another mission to go on, and he gave us the pilots to bring us home. And not only that, they stopped off at a kosher restaurant and said, I'm not bringing you to the plane without all of you having food. He's like being in your shoes. I loved him. And then he called me months later telling me he's going to Israel to fight. And I said, you know what? Only a guy like this could do what he does. I don't know of anybody else that could do what Ellie does. I love that man. You had to see our faces once that plane hit down in New York. There's no words what I could say about Hatzolah Air, what they did for my mother. And my mother looks at me every day till today and says, I don't know how you ever got them, but Hatzolah Air really, really saved my life.
As a Hatzolah member, I've known Ellie Row and Hatzolah Air from its inception. I know that any time that I've called Ellie and said, Ellie, listen, I have this case, they're in Aruba or they're in Colorado, no hesitation. Ellie says, Lenny, send me the information, I'll take care of it right away.
My dad was in the hospital back in December, and we needed to get him up to New York. Hatzolah Air was there for us. I want to say thank you to Ellie Row and his whole team at Hatzolah Air. They were unbelievable in our time of need. Our community is extremely lucky to be able to have this option.
Nobody ever has to go through what I went through, and I hope nobody ever has to need Hatzolah Air. But if you do, there's nobody bigger and better than them to take care of you. They're magic.
When we need them, they're there for us. Nobody realizes what it entails to get an airplane in the air, the costs that are involved. It's not an ambulance. It's not a quick drive. It's not a fill up of gas. It's not a little bit of insurance. There's real cost there.
I really recommend that we all here tonight support them. Give them what they need to stay in business to help us when we need them. But I'm telling you all, we have to support them from our pockets to make this organization work and be there for us when we need them.
Ladies and gentlemen, besides the fact that what you just saw cost a fortune, in the millions and millions and millions of dollars to operate and run a fleet like this from one man's shoulders, with all the people and the moving parts that they have to have. We all, not just this community, everybody that they have helped, the 1,600 people they've taken and saved their lives, we owe Hatzolah Air and Ellie Row a debt of gratitude. It is my great honor to call my friend up to say hi to us.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled to be up here today in front of such an extremely wonderful crowd. No words to the Batesh family of all generations, especially the one who gave me the delicious kiss tonight. Thank you, Mrs. Batesh. And of course, thank you, Harry. It's quite remarkable that the first flight Hatzolah Air did was in September of 2019, not even 5 years ago. In the world, Hatzolah was started by one man, a pretty average, I would say almost unimpressive man, who in 1966 watched a friend of his have a heart attack, called 911 in the city, watched him die, and a half an hour later they showed up. And he begged them to do something, but it was too late. He bought his first oxygen tank, for 3 years had it, and after 3 years he said to himself in 1969, what good is it if I just have one oxygen tank? Let me go and create something called Chevra Hatzolah, which are a bunch of guys, all with ADD, all extremely happy to do whatever they can to save somebody they never met for free 24 hours a day. Wow. Some 50 plus years later, today there are over 100 independent Hatzolah organizations in Deal, in Flatbush, in Panama, in Australia, in South Africa, and all over Europe, all over the Americas, in Israel. And I am actually humbled and proud to be one of those 10,000 plus Hatzolah members around the world. September 2019, with one aircraft and one flight request every 3 weeks. Today, we just received our 10th aircraft, and we have over 30 flight requests a week. People ask me how we do it. Costs us fortunes. The planes are all donated. All the emergency flights are flown for free. No money's asked. Mrs. Batesh, did we ask you for anything? For free. We land with jets that cost, at times, tens of millions of dollars, with chiefs, doctors, number one in their specialty, with case managers. People ask us how we do it. What I'm about to show you has never been seen or shown in Deal before, but it is a glimpse into the life of what really happens with real people that drop their real jobs and leave their real families, real businesses, real careers, and they run to save your life for free anywhere in the world. Let's take a look.
Wow.
We received a request from Chicago Hatzolah for a 4-year-old girl that drowned while on vacation in Panama. We're looking for a doctor and 2 flight medics. Please let me know if you're available.
Ice cream! Okay. I heard you. I know. Okay, let's finish this aisle first, and then I'll get you ice cream. Oh, pickles. Not those. Not those? Sour pickles.
Excuse me?
Yes?
¿Tiene pepinillos agrios?
Oh, yeah, over there.
Thank you. Gracias. Ah! Look what I found.
Yay!
Oh.
Mom!
Hello, Hatzolah.
I just got a request from a woman in Panama, a 4-year-old drowned.
Oh no.
We have an urgent request to get to Miami ASAP.
Okay, I'm on it. I'll take her home. Sorry, thanks.
Don't worry, I cleaned it.
Hi, sweetie. How you doing? Just finished the case. Should be home in about an hour. Hope to see you then. Bye.
Dr. Grushko?
Yes?
An emergency case just came at the hotline.
Panama? I understand. I'm on it. Hi, sweetie. Sorry, I'm not going to make it home tonight. There's a critical case in Panama. Yeah, I'm sorry. See you tomorrow. Hello? Hi. I need Ben on the flight. Thank you.
Okay, the next phase of site work that we're going to be doing is right in this area over here.
Right in this corner?
Yeah. Excuse me 1 second. I have to answer the phone. I'm in a meeting right now. Can I call you later? Oh. Okay, I'm on my way. I'm very sorry. I have an emergency flight for Hatzolah. I gotta go. Okay. I'll make it up to you.
Go get him.
Captain Row. I'm on my way.
Wait. Captain Jack is speaking.
Captain Jackie, we have an urgent medical flight request. We need you to fire up the jet stat.
Copy. I'm in my way. Guys, I have to, this is a Hatzolah air code. I have to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we've started our initial descent into Panama's International Airport. We ask that you return to your seats.
We landed in Panama, taking off now with the patient who drowned to the hospital for surgery.
Please pray for my daughter, taking off now from Panama to Miami.
Keep going.
Dr. Crossco will take care of the rest. Requests permission to land in Miami.
Hello, sweetie. Hi, I'm back. I'll see you in an hour. Bye.
So sorry we have to cancel today. Period. Can we reschedule for tomorrow, please? Question mark.
We could have used actors, but we didn't. We used angels. Dr. Grushko, who you saw, Captain Jackie, Ben, and all the others were all real volunteers. They get paid zero in this world, that is. Their retirement plan, out of this world. These are true angels. We have had what's called Siyata Dishmaya. If you look on the side of every one of our airplanes, very, very proudly, you'll see 3 Hebrew letters, Beis, Samach, Daled. Very proud as you walk in, and that means with God's help. We have had extreme Siyata Dishmaya, extreme amounts of God's help. And with that, 2 years ago, we opened the first civilian medevac system for the state of Israel. Now we have 5 helicopters. We're the only helicopter system that operates every single day in emergencies in Israel. We have 5 aircraft that are dedicated to saving lives of people we never met for free. We operate 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Nathan Hoffman came over to me. I saw him here before. He called me on Rosh Hashanah. We did a flight to somebody in this community. And every single day of the year, we're available to help save your lives. To respond to a ground Hatzolah call, maybe 1 or 2 gallons of gas. For us to respond, it's thousands, often tens of thousands or more. We cannot do it without you, but we will always be there for you. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
That was powerful. I told you Told ya. Our next speaker is a very dear friend of the communities, a rabbi that really doesn't need any introduction, a man that is here 7 days a week, 365 days a year to support us. And what I think his main focus is to make us better Jews, to elevate us. And he's doing a great job. Whether it's in public or it's his CDs and discs that we listen to. I personally listen to this on the way to the city every day, back and forth. Rabbi Joey Haber, we want to thank you for everything that you're doing and continue to do for our community to elevate it and keep us who we are.
You could lift that if you want.
Thank you, Harry, very much for those kind words. We'll kind of be brief. You know, that was incredible. I've spoken after a lot of unbelievable things in my life, but I don't think I ever spoke after a movie like that. I felt like we just watched Top Gun. That was phenomenal. I'm here tonight, I would say first and foremost, because of my love for the Bitesh family. Grandma Patsy, that's how we call you. It's not Mrs. Bitesh, I'm sorry. To us, it's Grandma Patsy. We love you dearly. We love your sons, your daughters, your grandchildren, your sons-in-law, your daughter-in-laws, your great-grandchildren, the whole thing. And watching you, seeing you sitting here is incredible. It's emotional. It's so unbelievable because we were watching each step as it was happening, and there was so many vulnerable moments along the way. And the fact that you're here dressed so elegantly is really such an unbelievable veracha. I'll give you a little story. It technically has nothing to do with Hatzolah, but I think it'll make our point very clearly. In the beginning of the summer, I had to speak somewhere outside of the community. It was an Ashkenaz community. And I still hadn't prayed Arbit yet. So it was after Arbit. I was after the speech. It was late at night. I went to Ashkenaz Shul to pray Arbit. As you all know, I'm in the year of Shiva and have to say Kaddish. So what's tricky about the way Ashkenazim pray is Syrians say Kaddish before Alenu. Ashkenazim say Kaddish after Alenu. So I'm standing there in the minyan. It's tricky as it is. I'm Syrian, they're Ashkenaz. I'm trying to follow along and do my thing. And they finished Alenu, and now it's my turn to say Kaddish. And I guess I didn't jump quick enough. I wasn't sure what to do next. The next thing you know, they start saying Tehillim. Ashkenazim say Tehillim at night. So I start saying Tehillim. I'm like, oh no, I missed my Kaddish. I don't know what I'm going to do. And my father just passed away. I can't believe it. I'm missing my Kaddish. I don't know. Now they finished Tehillim. And now I'm like not sure what to do. And can I say it now? Is this my chance? Do I lose my chance? And all of a sudden, a man behind me just says to me 3 words. He says, go for it. Go for it. And I jumped and said Kaddish. And in that second, I felt like, wow. A second ago, I was so vulnerable, so hazit, so weak, so lost. And one man's little phrase, go for it, gave me the courage to go and do it. Hatzolah is telling the Jewish people, go for it. My family never used it yet. But my father, as you know, was sick for 7 years, and the community didn't quite know exactly the extent of the disease. But my sister, Simi Mizrahi, was very involved in a lot of the medical in this community. At times, she was finding new ideas and new ideas. We're going to give Daddy this treatment and that treatment. And every time she would say, Joe, we're going to take Daddy to Florida, we're going to take Daddy to Miami, we're going to take Daddy to Germany, we're going to take Daddy to Cleveland. I'm like, Sim, what are you talking about? Daddy's in no condition to fly to Germany. How are we getting Daddy to Germany? And she said, Joey, what are you worried about? Hatzolah. That's what we're going to call. That sense that there's someone behind us telling you, go for it. There's nothing you can't do. There's no treatment you can't get. There's no place you can't go. There's nowhere in the world. There's no doctor you can't meet. Oh, you're stuck in a wheelchair. Oh, you're in terrible condition. Oh, it doesn't make sense for you to fly in a plane and go into an airport. It doesn't make sense for you to even sit in business class or first class on a plane. Don't worry. Go for it. We got you. You know, we know Abraham Avinu is the father of Chesed for our nation. And the famous story is the story of him, that 3 guests came to his house. What's so incredible about that story? Everybody in this room has had 3 guests come to their house that they've served. The answer is there's one piece of it that's unique, and that is Abraham Avinu just kept running to do it. Watching those angels on those videos, you saw people running to do it. Now, I always thought it was incredible when they run in the middle of a workday to take someone 3 miles away to the hospital. But to run to Panama, to run to Miami, to run to Germany, to run to New York, to run to from anywhere around the world, that's crazy. How could we not give them the support? How could we not be behind them? Our forefather Abraham Avinu taught us what chesed is. And chesed is telling every single Jew, we will run anywhere we can to help you. We are behind you. No matter what you do, no matter where you are, we're going to stand behind you and tell you, go for it. I have to tell you a little cute follow-up to that story. I walked out of that minyan and I was like, wow, that person has no idea how powerful those 3 words were. I said, I have to tell him thank you, but I have no idea, how I was. About a month and a half later, in the middle of the summer, I took my wife and my daughter and her husband out to dinner in Lakewood in this restaurant called The Loft. And there's this big table of like 12, 15 people sitting on the table. And the head of the table, an older man, comes over to me. He says, you're Rabbi Haber? I said, yes. Ashkenazi man. Never met him before. He says, we all listen to your classes. My whole family listens to the classes, and one of my sons is having a birthday tonight. And we'd like you to come and give him a blessing for his birthday. So I'm standing there waiting. Okay, so I said, no problem, give me 2 minutes. I love being able to make someone happy. I stood there, thought about it for 2 minutes, went to the table, gave them a whole little 3-minute speech and a whole blessing. After the speech was over, one of the sons told me, he says, Rabbi, I was the guy who was behind you in that minyan that night. I was the one who told you, go for it. I said, you don't know how much I wanted to meet you and thank you for that moment. I hope no one in this room ever feels the vulnerability that the Batesh family felt when Grandma Patsy was on the floor the entire Friday night. I hope you don't ever feel the vulnerability that my family's felt over the last 7 years trying to figure out treatments for my father, alav shalom. But I know this, that if that moment ever comes, you want someone behind you telling you, no matter what, no matter how much you have, no matter who you are, you want someone behind you telling you, go for it. Tonight is our opportunity to tell Hatzolah Air, go for it. Thank you.
We're wrapping up. Probably one of the best things, as I've watched over my lifetime in the years that I've been involved in our community, was when a man made a decision, not just a regular decision, but to leave his home, to leave the place that he was made most comfortable with his wife and children. They made their life there. And then an opportunity came, and he took this opportunity. And the rest is history. What Rabbi Shlomo Fari was able to do, I've watched from when he arrived with Isaac Ash and a whole bunch of other concerned people in New York City that deserve to have the best of everything. Not just Brooklyn, not just Deal, but our brother in the community in New York. And Rabbi Shlomo Fari came, and he made such a great honor to introduce to you a man that most, if not all of you know, Rabbi Shlomo Fari.
Sally and Joey, Ellie and Ellie Row, Ellie Crandall, excuse me, and all of our beautiful guests here tonight. You know, we live in a world where the difference between life and death can actually be a matter of minutes and sometimes even seconds. And in those critical moments, when every heartbeat counts, the choices that we make can actually alter our lives forever. So tonight I want to speak to you for a few minutes about those moments and the extraordinary power that we have to ensure that those moments and those decisions always end with life. You know, our Torah tells us that there's a sacred obligation that transcends time and place and community and custom, that it urges us to act when lives hang in the balance. The language of the Torah is lo ta'amod al dam re'echa. Don't stand by on the blood of your brother. If someone is dying, you cannot stand by. It obligates you to become a lifeguard in that minute. It obligates you to perform CPR in that minute. It obligates you to do crazy things to be able to ensure that that person's life is preserved. But the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot actually takes it one step further. And I think that that's what brings us here tonight. The Mishnah says, B'makom she'en ish, hishtadel lihiyot ish. In a place where there is no man, attempt to be a man. Elliot, you said it on the video. You're stuck in a moment, and in that moment, there's no doctor, and there's no option. And I think that is what we are here to do tonight, to support the people who understand what it means to be the people when there are no people. And that is what Hatzolah Air is. They're there when no one else is. They respond to the knock that other people ignore. What can we do? Where can we get that help? What are we supposed to do in this moment? My friends, Hatzolah Air doesn't respond to emergencies. It rises to them. You know, the Torah tells us that if you find something on the road, a piece of paper that belongs to someone, I saw in Yerushalayim, I was there yesterday for one day. There was a sign on the wall that said, if you find this notebook, I'll give you 10,000 shekel to return it. Very important notebook. There's a mitzvah in the Torah that even without 10,000 shekel to return a lost object. However, there's a very interesting language that's used in the Torah. V'hashevoto lo. And the Chachamim explains that doesn't just mean return the lost object to him, but they say that it means that the greatest hashavat aveda is when you return him to him. You give him his life back. V'hashevoto lo. Imagine returning someone's father, mother, child, returning them to them. Now today, we face unbelievable challenges. Challenges that allow us, even though we have the most advanced medical technologies in the world, surgeries you could never believe in, medicines that the world has never seen. The problem often is not that we don't have a cure and we don't have a surgery to be able to perform. Most times, as Chai Medical will tell you, it's a matter of getting the person to that thing. And the equipment that sits here next to me is an understanding of what this is. Private jets in those moments are not a luxury. They are a necessity. They allow a person to be transported where they could never, even in first class. You can't bring someone who can't breathe on a commercial flight. So in that minute, that private jet, is the only thing that will allow a person to be able to have their lives saved. And Ellie, what you've done and what you've built is a bridge and a lifeline in a moment where no other man thought that that was possible. And today, I want to share with everybody here that that obligation, that idea, being an angel, the Pasuk says, and we say it all the time, we say, Ki malachav yitzavelach. It's a statement that you say to someone when they're leaving you. For God will command his angels, lishmorcha b'chol derachecha, to guide you and to guard you on your way, to protect you in those moments that you should not be hurt. And the language that's used is, God will send his angels to protect you, and they will lift you up into the sky in their hands. Ellie is an angel like that. But my friends, I want to share with you something. It's not only Ellie that is an angel like that. Tonight, the angels are each and every one of you, because with you, the work that they do is unbelievable. It can take us to places unimaginable. But without you, every single thing is grounded. Your generosity is the lifeblood of Hatzolah Air. You fuel the jets, all 4.5 million pounds of fuel burned. You fuel it. My friends, you power the missions. Over 1,600 missions. So that story that revived an entire family's love, their connection to a grandma, to being under a chuppah, there's 1,600 families that have experienced exactly that same thing. But you write those stories. You enable the 388 medics, 32 pilots to be able to bring those life-saving opportunities, the 4 planes, the 6 helicopters, and hopefully Be'ezrat Hashem more. Ellie, you know what I was thinking when I saw that plane? I was thinking one thing. Hashem gives us a choice. Either we pay for the planes to be able to save other Jews, or God makes us pay for planes that are in the sky in Gaza protecting Eretz Israel. Which planes do you want to fly into the air? That's the question God asks all of us angels. And we get the choice. And that choice, my friends, is here tonight. Don't think of it like that. Think of each family. Think of a father that will get to see his son standing at a bar mitzvah. Think of the mother that otherwise would not get to see her daughter graduate. Think of the grandparent that at a chuppah is going to have to be mentioned, is unfortunately not here with us tonight. My friends, that is what you are bringing tonight with the money that you help Hatzolah bring. And I believe you, my friends, with one last piece, because to me, I think that this is everything. I want you to picture a world where there's nobody that is beyond help. No one. Where there's not a single destination or a single hospital that is not reachable, because Hatzolah Air has enough planes, helicopters, pilots, whatever they need to be able to get someone's loved one to be able to walk back into their house at the end of that story. And this is not a dream, my friends. It's a vision that we could build together. You know, Hatzolah Air is here for us 365 days a year. But they only ask us to be there for them one day a year. And that day, my friends, is today. Today, if we come forward, if we help, then we will be zocheh to continue to fly higher, to reach further, and to save many, many more lives together. My friends, tonight you get a chance to be an angel ki malachav yitzav elach. Don't miss this opportunity.